on film here. So, okay, I'd like to welcome you to pasports.com. We're live streaming this Montoursville Danville match again. First time, we did Williamsport, South Williamsport, and it seemed to be a great success. I know, I don't know how many views we had, but I know last time I looked, which is quite some time ago, there were over 7,500 views. So I'm glad we're here tonight with Montoursville. I'd also like to introduce my co-commentator tonight, a great young man, a great wrestler for Montoursville, Ryan Gardner, a very successful businessman right now and also a lawyer. So he's done a great job, and I'd like to thank Ryan for helping me out tonight. I'm sure he's going to be a great help.
Thanks for having me here tonight, Coach. I appreciate it. It's a pleasure.
My pleasure, Ryan. I know you'll enjoy it. I believe we're starting with two JV matches.
First JV match at 220 pounds for Danville, Tyler Steinbacher from Montoursville, Mike Martin.
He can't hear anything. I can't hear anything either. Okay, we're starting with some JV matches here, which is fortunate. You know, most teams don't have a full lineup, and fortunately, Danville and Montoursville has extras. Montoursville's done a great job. The Yonkin brothers, Jamie and Matt, Jamie the head coach, Matt the assistant coach, have done a terrific job here. I know they were teammates with Ryan.
They were. We came from the same school of thought. You know, we wrestled under Millward. Dan Wright at the time.
And Ryan here was very successful at Montoursville. He was a district champ, a sectional champ, a regional champ, and he placed in states. And the trivia question tonight, for those wrestling fans who followed Ryan through his career, is what place did Ryan Gardner place at states for Montoursville back in 1995? I think it was 1995, wasn't it, Ryan?
96.
96? Oh, my handwriting is bad. With that trivia question, you can call in at 570-322-3298. And for those of you that follow the internet, I think I posted that. And Ryan was a great wrestler. How many years did you wrestle varsity, Ryan?
All 4 years.
All 4 years?
Yep, 9 through 12.
We have the lineups. I didn't get a whole lot of information from Coach Yonkin. I don't know if he was nervous or what, but I know they have some excellent wrestlers in Keith Batkowski and the two Hoffman brothers, and several really good wrestlers. Any others that you might know, Ryan?
I know the Cerny boy has done a really nice job for the
Yeah, he has.
Few years. The entire lineup, quite honestly, has quite a bit of depth. You've got Coach Krebs' kid in there. Coach Krebs obviously is a head coach at Lake Cumming. I had the pleasure of wrestling under him for a number of years as well.
Yeah, I know Wyatt Lutz is a lightweight for them, and his dad Carl was a state champion for Montoursville years back. I think he won it in 73-74.
I think he was the second state champion for Montoursville. Gary Walk being the first.
Yeah, Gary and I were very good friends. I used to have a weight room in my basement. He'd come up and lift, and that guy was the strongest human being I've ever came across.
You can't go through Montoursville's wrestling program without having heard stories of Gary.
Yes. Yep, Gary was a good friend of mine. Unfortunately, he passed away of cancer, and I miss him dearly. We were good friends. Okay, you can see this JV. You know, fortunately, they do have enough kids wrestling. A lot of schools don't anymore to have a JV match. Montoursville young man is up 2-1, and Danville's getting some back points here with a cradle.
Well, Looks like the Danville boy just secured a pin there.
The ref tonight is Mr. Schaefer. I've been obviously coaching. I've coached at Williamsport for a long time and out of it for a long time, and I don't recognize some of these officials. This is another JV match. Looks like Montoursville must be pretty.
220 pounds for Danville and Danville, for Montoursville, Brandon Steinbacher.
It looks like Montoursville is pretty loaded in the upper weights here out of all these extra kids.
I would have to say there's some large boys out there.
Yeah, 220, two 220-pounders. In fact, the list that Coach Yonkin gave me has 4 220-pounders listed. So the future looks good for Montoursville. And I know the Yonkin brothers are really doing a great job here. They've kind of taken over the elementary program, and I know how much time that takes. I've done it at Williamsport, and God bless them. I mean, that becomes a lifestyle. They're running the elementary program, and I'm sure they're involved at the junior high level and, of course, at the varsity level.
My nephew wrestles for the Little Warrior program, and I try to go to as many home meets as I can, and I know the Yonkin boys are there working behind the scenes, trying to get things to move along. It's a huge dedication.
Oh, it is. It is, but it pays off, and I always looked at it as a 5-year investment. I did that at my elementary program and didn't really see those kids until about 5 years later. But the Yonkins have been, how long have they been involved in the elementary program, Ryan?
I know they've been involved in the capacity of head coach anyway at the varsity level for at least 8 or 9 years.
Yeah, and I think they've kind of taken over the elementary program themselves, which is, it really takes dedication, as Ryan mentioned. You know, I know it. It becomes a lifestyle. You live, eat, and breathe wrestling, and the Yonkins have done that, and it will pay off for them.
Absolutely. They breathed life back into this program. It was in a lull there for a little bit after the Yonkin boys and I graduated. And when they stepped back into it, they really brought it back to life, and it's been a joy to watch.
Yeah, and as you're well aware, Montoursville has a rich tradition in wrestling. They've always, I think, back in 1974, they won states as a team.
They did.
I'd like to thank our sponsors tonight, Blaze Alexander.
Montoursville defers, Danville takes down.
Blaze himself was a wrestler, and that's not on the trivia question, but I don't know how many of you know where Blaze wrestled in high school, but he's one of our sponsors. Webb Weekly, Snyder Sweet Corn, the Snyders brothers were state champions here at Montoursville, and DeSanto Subs. Charlie's been an athlete here at Montoursville in his younger days, and we want to thank the Villa. And by the way, that trivia question, the winner of that will receive a $50 gift certificate to the Villa, and we thank the Villa for that.
We just ate at the Villa the other night. I don't know if it would be inappropriate if I answer the question, if I get the gift certificate, Coach.
I don't know. You might probably know that, Ryan. I'm probably exempt from it myself.
How great that is.
Okay, this, as I mentioned, this live feed is going out to over 300 colleges. The first one we did, Williamsport, South Williamsport match, 91 college coaches watched this. And I know Montoursville, I don't know too much about the Danville young men, but I know Montoursville has some really good kids that colleges are looking at. The one Hoffman brother, the senior, Garrett Hoffman, is one of the top wrestlers in the state. I know his younger brother is also one of the top wrestlers in the state. They have Keith Batkowski, who is a senior. I know he is definitely being looked at by colleges, and the senior Hoffman as well. And I'm sure the younger Hoffman has college coaches' attention. You're pretty familiar. Did you wrestle in this gym, Ryan?
Once or twice.
Yeah.
This gym was a new addition, I believe, my sophomore year. It was one of the largest in the area, so we got to break it in. We filled it to capacity the one year.
Yeah.
Montoursville, Bald Eagle Nittany.
Yeah, I know. I always said to myself, if I ever take another coaching job, I'm going to look at the gym, because when I went to Williamsport, I never looked at the gym, and that holds 3,500 people, and to fill that, it was quite an accomplishment. And we did. We filled it a couple times, but when I first went up there, there were so few spectators, you could have shot a shotgun off in there and not hit anybody. But just like the Yonkin brothers, they're doing exactly what I did at Williamsport, and their program's solid now, and it's even going to get better with them getting involved in that elementary program. Those kids are going to look up to those coaches and want to wrestle for them. But it becomes a lifestyle for those two young men, the Jamie and Matt.
Wow. Allen University says, please send me contact info
We're
on Montoursville.
We're getting information right now from colleges that they want information. We just received a text that they want information about Montoursville's team.
And
Hopefully on Thursday we'll have a lot more information. As I said, Coach Yonkin, maybe he's a little nervous tonight or whatever. I don't know. He didn't give me much information on his team outside of the names of the young men wrestling.
You know, to sit back and watch the Youngkins get ready for this, there's so much to be done behind the scenes, whether it's laying the mats down, getting names to the presenters, and then the time commitment that they put in on top of that with coaching, period. My hat's off to them.
Oh, mine too. It becomes a lifestyle. I mean,
Once again, fans, we'd like to welcome you to
yeah,
Montoursville
we're getting
High School.
calls in about this match, and they want to look
Hi,
at
this
it.
is PA Sports Live.com.
At this time, we ask that you please
Okay,
rise,
this
and
is-
gentlemen, remove your hats.
Yes, the answer to that trivia question is going to be sixth place.
Okay, I don't know who's the winner there. We'll get you in a minute.
It's going to be sixth place.
Callers on the air? Callers on.
Okay, we just had a call.
Yes, this is Grady Walker. It's going to be, the answer to that question is going to be sixth place.
Is this Grady Walker?
Member of the wrestling team's 100-win club. On Saturday, January 9th, Ben Cerny recorded his 100th career win.
We'll get right back to you.
Period Fall versus Homestead. Please join us in congratulating Ben Cerny.
Ben Cerny got into the 100-win club, which is quite an accomplishment.
That's an enormous accomplishment, Coach. One that very few wrestlers in the state of PA can hit anymore.
152 pounds for Danville, Dakota Semicles.
Yep, that's a lot of wins.
Montoursville, Gary Lakes.
Okay, it is the introductions. I guess they're starting at the 152.
At 160 pounds for Danville, Dalton Semicles.
Gary Lakes for Montoursville, and who's a
At
Dalton
170
Semicles.
pounds for Danville, Noah Zakarian. For Montoursville, Mike Forney.
Mike Forney's the son of Greg Forney. Greg Forney actually wrestled for me at Williamsport.
For
Tough little guy.
Danville at 170 has Noah Zakarian.
Garrett Hoffman or Torin Lewis. At 195 pounds for Danville, Sam Crane.
At 182 pounds for Danville, we have Jay Brennan. And at
And
195, we have Sam Crone.
182, Torin Lewis and Garrett Hoffman. Hoffman being a senior. Again, I apologize. I don't have a whole lot of information. Montoursville wrestlers. But
for Danville at 220 pounds, Danville has listed 3 different wrestlers. A Walters, a Steinbacher, and a Dunkel, looks like.
in Montoursville, Ben Cerny probably, I would imagine, is going to wrestle to extend his 100-match win record. See how many wins he can get in his senior year here, and maybe break the win record here at Montoursville.
At 285 pounds, Danville sending a sophomore out, Devin Yeager.
Heavyweight, Michael Bittenheimer.
At 120 pounds for Danville, Evan Welliver. For Montoursville, Morgan Comini.
Going back to the lighter weights. For Danville, Dylan Spots at 106. And at 113, Liam Brady.
Wyatt Lutz for Montoursville, 106, 113. Colin Disher, or Dincher, I believe it is, or Isaiah Ginrich, 120. Morgan Kamani.
120 for Danville, Evan Welliver, 9th grader.
138 pounds for Danville, either Austin Craig or Eric Seeds. For Montoursville, Kyle Bennett.
This Kyle Bennett from Montoursville is a pretty tough wrestler. I saw him in the top hat.
45 pounds for Danville, either Paul Bolino or Robert Blee.
At 126 and 132 for Danville, it's either going to be Tommy Hack or Caden Kurzawa.
Danville is coached by Matt.
One of those 2 boys will be taking the spot at either weight, depending on where the coach puts them.
The referee
45.
Mr. Darren Schaefer.
145 Montoursville is Keith Batkowski. That's a family tradition down here, wrestling. I know his dad actually wrestled for Montoursville when I was coaching at Williamsport years back. And he has a son, David Batkowski, who's a real good wrestler for Montoursville, and now Keith. And they actually, I saw they have a little boy in the elementary program. So you're going to be seeing Batkowski and Montoursville line up for a long time.
Looks like Montoursville won the toss coach. And I think they're starting at 152 pounds tonight. And then to return real quick to Danville's lineup. 138, we have Eric Cease or Austin Craig. And 145, PJ Bellino or Bobby Lee.
This is Gary Lakes for Montoursville. Lakes in a quick shot there. Danville counters with some underhooks, underhook, overhook. Looks like he's trying to throw him. Comes back with a shot, single. Lakes is hanging on. There's a scramble there. And Lakes looks like he might have the advantage, but not yet. And there's a takedown for Gary Lakes. He's going for that old, and that's an old move there, 3/4 Nelson. Remember that one, Ryan? Haven't seen that for a while.
We're at a minute 20 left in the first period.
2-0 score, Montoursville. Tough ride there, a little tight waist. Working that arm.
Danville boys trying to get to his base. Trying to come up. He's trying to get that 3/4 Nelson again.
When's the last time you saw that, Ryan?
It's been a while.
Yeah. It's a good move, though. He's got some bars, rolled him over, he's
Yep.
getting back points.
Montoursville gets a pin. 55 seconds left in the first.
Good start for Montoursville, 6-0.
Montoursville's Gary Lakes.
I believe Montoursville forfeiting 160. Too bad they can't get one of those 200.
With that forfeit, coach going into 170 pounds. Montoursville's up 12-0.
And this young man from Montoursville is Mike Forney, and his dad wrestled for me. His dad was a lightweight, like a 112-pounder, and his son certainly got bigger than him. He's a 170-pounder.
Got a junior for Danville, Noah Zakarian.
And unfortunately, Coach Yonkin didn't give me the grades of his young men. But I believe I believe Forney's is maybe a junior. So far, 121 college coaches are watching this. It's a great thing for our wrestlers in this area, the exposure that they get. Great recruiting tool.
Absolutely.
I mean, instead of coaches taking a trip to Montoursville, they can sit in their office and watch this on the computer.
I'm fairly certain that when I wrestled under these lights, there was no such thing as the internet available.
Oh, no. I mean, this is a great thing. I mean, this is seen worldwide. To be honest with you, this is seen worldwide.
Got a minute left in the first period at 170 pounds. The boys are on their feet yet. The Montoursville kid takes a shot. He's underneath. Good counter by Danville.
Excuse me, I have this thing going up. There was a nice little dump by Forney, and he secured two back points in it. You know, the list is online if you'd like to see how many college coaches are looking at this. And I was talking to Greg before the match started, and he said his son is a lot better than him, and I don't know. Greg was pretty tough in his day.
That's nice to see. The young boys still use legs as on the top position there.
Well,
for a while I was thinking they were a thing of the past.
Well, Ryan is well aware. I used to be pretty good with legs at one time. I learned more as a coach than I did as a competitor. I never used them, but I learned how to use them as a coach. And actually, Mike, his dad brought him out to me last year, and I worked with him a little bit. I have mats in my basement. I worked with this young man, great young man. Just a few of the schools that are watching this: Buffalo, Ryder, East Michigan, Bucknell, Kent, and Oregon State. A good friend of mine is a coach at Oregon State. Jim Zaleski was a 3-time national champ for Iowa.
Starting the second period, Coach Danville elects to take top, I believe.
Score 4-0 Montoursville with a takedown and some back points by Mike Forney. Oh, Danville guys using some legs there. He doesn't quite have Forney in trouble yet, but you know, if no one can progress here, the ref usually calls a stalemate. That might be coming up here soon.
Looks like Forney's working to his feet. I think the ref will probably call a stalemate if he can stand up. Oh, he's back to the mat.
Looks like he's tried to hook up a cradle. Not much action right now. You know, and on top, with you have legs in, you have to try and turn the guy, or it's actually considered stalling. And I don't see the Danville guy trying to turn Michael Forney too much, but throwing some wicked crossface there.
Gonna get a bloody nose soon.
You know, that could be considered unsportsmanlike conduct. There is a call like that in wrestling when that kind of thing happens. Michael's doing his best to try and get out of those legs. If he gets that leg raised, he gets another arm under it, he's going to be out. But, you know, we talked about this last time, and I know, Ryan, you weren't involved, but I really would like to see, riding time come back in high school.
You know, I always wondered why they didn't have riding time in high school. I was never the beneficiary of that, only till when I got to college.
There's a reversal by Forney. He's up now 6-0. But, yeah, riding time's big in college. And you being an ex-wrestler and the quality wrestler you were, you know it takes effort to hold a kid down and ride him. And now in high school, you don't get rewarded for that. And if he gets away, it's 1 point, you know. I hate to see him take that riding time out of the high school equation.
Third period, Forney Montoursville chooses neutral.
Forney up 6-0, and he chooses neutral and must be confident on his feet. He's probably got some good workout partners in that room.
Oh.
Between Batkowski and the Hoffman brothers, he's probably begging for a dual meet for a break.
As you were saying that, Coach, I was just starting to count the number of kids they have on the Montoursville team, and it looks like they have a lot of depth there. 20-plus wrestlers, I would say.
Awarded a takedown. Looked like he scrambled out of a headlock attempt, but did get the points. He's up 8-0 now.
Looks like the Danville kid was
Caught him in the cradle and is going to get some back points out of this. Maybe a fall.
The Danville
Oh,
kid's fighting for his
got a
life, came out
reversal.
on top.
Got over anxious on that cradle and got a reversal. Now getting back points. Forney's on his back.
He's got Forney in a bad position.
He can hold on. Yeah, a lot of time left, Ryan. A lot of time. Oh.
Danville boy got the pin.
Yep.
That was a
Mike-
nice reversal.
Mike got a little anxious on that cradle and overran it, and up 10-2. That's tough to handle. I'm sure Mike's not feeling too good. But hats off to the Danville young man. He fought back. And now this is Garrett Hoffman, one of the better kids in the state of Pennsylvania. I'm sure he's being recruited by a lot of colleges. He's a senior this year and has a younger brother who's a sophomore. Both really good kids.
Danville put on the mat Jay Brennan. He's a senior.
I believe both the Hoffmans were top hat tournament champions. I'm sure Montoursville ranked in the state as a team, and unfortunately, as I said, I didn't get a lot of information. Shot, and spun through on a. Still no takedown. Good scramble there, Ryan, huh?
Been an entertaining 40 seconds here, Coach.
Got a good friend of mine here sitting right here, Steve Dewar. He thinks he's a wrestler. He's telling me these moves he's doing. He went to Lock Haven. This Hoffman kid is really tough. Long, lanky, similar to your build, Ryan.
Very lanky.
Those guys are hard to wrestle. My son was tall and lanky for a 140-pounder. There's Hoffman with a takedown.
Not taking anything away from the Danville boy.
And our hats off to Steve Dewar, a good friend of mine. He helped get us a lot of sponsors. He knows everybody. Hoffman looking to get.
Looks like he's working over a near side cradle
Yeah,
there.
and he got it. He got it, and that's a tight one. That's a tight one. If he can't get his legs figure forward, that's a real tight one. He's trying it. There it is, man. That's a tight move.
Wow.
Talked about getting his legs figure forward. He's readjusting to try now. That's called a leg cradle. Very rarely seen, but that's tough. That's tough. We have guys there yelling. I don't know if you can hear them in the stands. That's the scissors, but
I think when you have the leg
yeah,
and the head in there.
yeah, that's not illegal. If you just had the head, it would be illegal. But Garrett knows what he's doing. He's been wrestling a long time. Senior this year. Do you know what he placed in states last year, Ryan? Following them, I know he placed.
I want to say he was 6th or so.
No. I know I looked up. It's this year for some reason it's hard to find, but I did find Gavin, his younger brother's ranked first. At least the rankings that I saw at 197. There was a switch, kind of stand-up switch. Goes back to that cradle.
Back in for the cradle. The Danville boy's trying to give a good base, but the Hoffman boy keeps putting him back to the mat. He's got a half in. Danville kid's on his back.
These young Huffman, this one being a senior, his brother a sophomore, they're a threat in the state tournament, guaranteed. Kind of stepping over, trying to get legs in again. And he got double grapes in, and that's a pretty tough one to get out of. The young man from Danville's trying his hardest.
He's got a double,
Yeah, that
double
was tough.
grapevine.
Double grapevine and tied up both arms. I'm sure the Yonkin brothers are young enough to work out with these guys. It helps them get better. I know I was worked out with my kids at Williamsport.
What are we heading into here? 195. Danville's going to put on the mat Sam Crone, another senior.
At 195 pounds for Danville, Sam Crane. For Montoursville, Gavin Hoffman.
This is Gavin, the younger brother of Garrett. Excellent wrestler as well. Very aggressive, these Hoffman boys. What do you think, Ryan? They're putting it to them.
Yeah, their performance speaks for itself. Aggressive. You can definitely tell they're in shape.
Yeah.
I think they're going to go far this year again.
Yeah, I'm sure they will. I think Montoursville has several kids who can go.
Agreed.
They could be a threat maybe in to take a state title as a team. Should be a great accomplishment for the Yonkin brothers. Takedown for Hoffman and a little bit of a scramble, 2-0. Riding with a half there. Half and a tight waist, and these brothers both seem to like leg situations.
Excellent. Tough riders on top.
Yeah, they sure seem to be.
Constantly working under the arms, looking for some type of leverage.
And again, this is pasportslive.com. If you'd like to see this on the internet, pasportslive.com. And I'm really anxious and excited about doing this. This gives great exposure to our local wrestlers. I know it wasn't available when Ryan wrestled, but this is great for wrestling in this area.
Absolutely, Coach. And without we'll go back to our sponsors again, but without the help of the sponsors, the Villa, DeSanto Subs, the Snyder Sweet Corn, Web Weekly, and Blaze Alexander, we wouldn't be sitting here today and have this opportunity.
Yeah, and again, I'm very, very grateful for the sponsors for making this possible to give our wrestlers in this area the exposure that they well deserve. Unfortunately, wrestling isn't a sport where you get a lot of publicity. They finally, after years and years, are now televising the Nationals from start to finish.
Hoffman of Montoursville defers. Crane of Danville takes neutral.
And Pennsylvania is one of the better states for wrestling. Penn State, the #1 ranked team in the nation, has a lot of kids from Pennsylvania wrestling for them.
We have a lot of strong colleges in the state of Pennsylvania, as Coach was saying, but then District 4 alone is a hotbed for wrestlers coming out to move on to those colleges.
And Hoffman's kind of controlling this. They're on their feet. Score 2-0. Shot by the Danville kid. You got to give them credit. They're fighting. Ankle pick attempt and
good scramble by the Danville kid.
Missed the ankle pick, but good, as Ryan said, good scramble by the Danville young man. Oh, and there's a takedown. He kind of limped arm out and got that takedown.
That was a nice takedown by Hoffman on the edge of the mat. Mat awareness plays a big key in the matches anymore. Wrestle the lines and
yeah, back when you wrestled, when you got that close, they would blow you out. But now, as long as your toes are in, it's a takedown.
Yep.
In college, I mean, you can be out of the bounds and still get a takedown as long as it started in the center there. And you see that when you watch college wrestling. Tough ride by Hoffman. Young man from Danville is trying hard. There's an old tricep ride we used to call that. Remember, Ryan?
I just remember the pain.
Stalling on bottom, which I don't know. The rule is if you're being dominated by the other wrestler, it shouldn't be stalling. And Hoffman, both brothers, are pretty dominating. He's rolled through, got a half.
Oh, Danville boy's on his back. He's got to be close to that pin.
He's already got 3. Now in college, you get 4 for that. Danville. Danville young men really fought hard to prevent that. And we'll see what Gavin can do from the down position.
121.
Right now there's 121 colleges viewing this, and great thing for our local wrestlers. Score 7-0 Montoursville. Nice kind of sit-out switch. We got one for it. Well, didn't put it up yet, but there's one. Whoa.
I'm not sure what that was, Coach. It looked good, though.
Yeah, it looked good. I think it was a gymnastics setup there or something. I don't know. I think he was trying to lull the guy into watching him. And 8-0.
Reminded me of something you'd see Colot do.
Yeah, it's something new these Yonkins are teaching these kids. Cartwheel setup, I think that's called. Hoffman's in on the ankles, no takedown. There's a takedown, and he's kind of controlling this match with a 10-0 lead. Team score now is 12-12. A forfeit and a pin for Danville.
You know, Coach, we've mentioned the Yunkin brothers quite a bit coaching Montoursville. I'd be remiss if I didn't point out that the head coach here for Danville is Matt Bloom, with the assistant being Seth Kanaski. The Kanaski name rings a bell. I believe, I don't know if it was him or maybe his dad was the head coach when I was going through the program.
His dad was Ron Kanaski, great man. Has a Pennsylvania record for over 500 wins in his career. Great job at Danville. Here's Hoffman with a tilt. He got 2 out of that tilt. And Seth was his son. Seth wrestled for his dad, but his dad and I are good friends. His brother of Ron, Dave Kanaski, actually helped me coach for a few years. Fortunately, he passed away.
I think Danville, at least this year, they're reloading. They've got a lot of inexperienced wrestlers, but they're definitely trying. All programs go through that reloading phase. But not to take anything away from Danville, they're out there definitely trying to give them
they're scrapping, no question about it. The Danville kids are scrapping, but you know, they're trying to rebuild the program. The program was down for a few years. Their elementary numbers are going up. Their junior high numbers are going up. So they're probably in the future going to be back to where they used to be. Trying another tilt here. Gavin didn't quite work. Still 12-0, major decision if he maintains this. He's probably gonna, there's less than 5 seconds left, and he's kind of dominating with a 12-0 win. There was a good scramble right at the end there, though. That Danville kid fought hard.
Moving to heavyweight, we've got, looks like Devin Yeager from Danville, sophomore.
Well, probably 220 or, yeah, I think we're 220.
220, yeah. I jumped the gun.
I usually make those mistakes, Ryan.
I'm not accustomed to 220.
Yeah, that's a new weight, and Ryan's right, that's a new weight. And Ben, that, you know, he already has his 100th win. This would be probably his 101 win tonight. It's another great kid for Montoursville.
Yeah, Ben's going to be able to add his name to that 100 win list here at Montoursville, which, quite honestly, there's only one banner. So he's going to be part of an elite club.
Is your name on there,
Ben.
buddy?
It is not. I was 3 shy. It's a sore subject, Coach.
Yeah. Sorry to bring it up, Ryan. I know my son, a lot of you probably recognize my son's name, Tommy Betts, who's a state champ. Finally, his senior year, was in the finals 4 years, and it was more relief when he won it his senior year than anything. But he got that. I think he has, I don't know for sure, 123 wins, 126 wins. But.
Well, back when Tommy wrestled, 100 wins was, you know, a feat that not many could accomplish. Today's a lot of tournament wrestling. They get a lot more matches leading up to the sectional district tournaments.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. Back when my son wrestled, you were limited in dual meets. When you wrestled, you were limited in dual meets. I think at the time you could only have 11 dual meets, and you know, you would be really, really good to get 100 wins.
Yeah, if you had 20 wins going into the sectional district tournament, that was a lot.
Yep, absolutely. It's a good fight here in heavy, or 220, excuse me. I made the same mistake Ryan did. kind of battling, seem pretty even on their feet here.
I think I just read in the paper, Coach, that Cerny was named first-team All-State in football.
Yeah, and Batkowski was a great running back, is a great running back, one of the best in the state for Montoursville. So, you know, the football program complements this wrestling program, or maybe I should say the wrestling program complements the football program. So the head football coach here, J.C. Kiefer, is a good friend of mine, and I know he's very involved in wrestling. He has a little boy that's wrestling for Loyal Sock, and he's helping coach. He's helping me as a coach, and he's very involved in wrestling. So I'm sure he welcomes wrestlers coming out for his football team. Okay, first period, score 0-0. Team score 16-12, Montoursville.
Second period, Walters of Danville takes down.
Speaking of coaching, you've put together a pretty nice team, the Little Lancer program up there.
Well,
a lot of big names in District 4.
Yeah. I wanted to get back into coaching, Ryan, but not necessarily at the elementary level, but I did for my grandson. You know, when my son passed away, I kind of devoted myself to my grandson. If he wants to wrestle, I'm going to coach. But I'll tell you, he's still even score. Certainly doing a good job riding. Again, this is a disadvantage of not having riding time. But getting back to coaching that elementary program, last year I started coaching, and I got all these kids, and I demonstrated everything. I got them all in the circle, and I said, any of you guys have any questions? And I assumed it was going to be about wrestling. One little kid raised his hand, and I said, yes, what's your question? He said, why do you have white hair? That shows how old I am, Ryan. Here's another trivia question for you. And this is 2 cheesesteaks from DeSanto Subs. And that trivia question was, who was Montoursville first state champion? And I think we already mentioned that, so if you've been paying attention, it should be an easy one for you.
Yeah, I may have inadvertently given the answer to that, Coach.
Here's a reversal, and I don't think he awarded any back points. No, he didn't. He got caught in a Granby situation.
Yep, I don't see him holding any on the mat. Nope, just the reversal.
Well, he's getting a little high on that cradle. But this must be a pretty tough Danville kid. What's his name again, Coach?
Well, they listed 3, and I'm going to go with it's either Jarrett Walters or Tyler Steinbacher.
He's doing a good job on this is a tough kid from Montoursville. Cerny, real tough kid. Score 2-0. He's doing a pretty good job. Danville, young man riding.
He's definitely got a battle on his hands here.
Yes, he does.
Going into the third period with Cerny down 0-2.
Cerny takes down.
For the third period, Cerny Montoursville takes down.
Nice escape by Cerny.
Narrows the score to 2-1.
He's going to have to look to score here in the third.
Yep, pressure's on Cerny to get a takedown here. Ryan, you wrestled with Jamie and Matt Yonkin, didn't you? They were teammates of yours?
I did, yep.
Probably workout partners as well. Were they around your weight?
They were. I don't know if it was a pleasure or not, but I got to work out with them all through high school and then again at Lycoming.
Yeah. Well, Ryan here was a national qualifier for Lycoming. Started his college career at Bucknell, and you know, I guess wanted to get closer to home. Although Bucknell's pretty close, but he wanted to be in the backyard. You know, Ryan here's an old farm boy and great work ethic, great young man, very successful young man. Has a successful business. He's a lawyer. He's accomplished a lot, and I'm sure a lot of that came from the discipline you learned in wrestling, Ryan.
Yep, can't forego. You know, the hard work ethic that was instilled, you know, by my parents as well, but absolutely by the sport of wrestling.
Well, some of you know or heard of Dan Gable. It certainly looks in trouble here, yes. A Danville young man did get a takedown.
Trivia question. Ready?
Trivia question, what's your answer? Hello?
Hello?
Yes, hello? Trivia question. Who was Montoursville's first state champion?
Rick Snyder.
That's not
Hello,
correct.
Rick Snyder.
That's not correct. Sorry.
Try again.
Good guess, though.
Good guess.
Rick Snyder.
You have another
that's
guess?
not correct. Their first state champion. Good guess. He was a state champion. You're correct.
We've got 10 seconds left here in the third
I don't
period.
know. This is, yeah.
Looks
I
like the
believe
Danville
this
boys going to
young
come
man's
away
gonna
with the
beat
win.
Cerny.
Danville definitely got hyped up over that win.
That was a great match, and Cerny's a tough wrestler. Yeah, has 100 wins. I'm sure the coaching staff didn't expect that one. You know, as a coach, you know, you hate to do it, but you figure out who's going to win and who's going to lose.
Yep.
And
Blaze Alexander Family Dealerships.
For over 30 years,
We've been doing anything it takes.
to satisfy anyone who walks through the door.
The largest selection and a low price guaranteed.
Blaze out.
okay, this is Mike Bibelheimer at heavyweight. Limit on heavyweight in high school now is 285. So these men are below 285. I don't know what they weigh. The Danville kid looks pretty muscular. The
Team score start of the heavyweight bout here is 16-15, Montoursville advantage.
and I did talk to Mike Bloom, and he was real honest about his opinion, and he knew that Montoursville had a superior team. And he was, I'm sure he's pleased with what his boys are doing in the upper weights here, because he has very, very young, inexperienced kids, Danville, Mike Bloom at those lower weights. And Montoursville's pretty tough at those lower weights.
I think you'd be hard-pressed to find too many holes in Montoursville's lineup this year.
Yeah, I'm surprised they're forfeiting at 160. I don't know if someone got hurt or what, but
I think I did hear in passing that the 60-pounder was injured. A lot of hand battling going on here at heavyweight.
yeah, a lot of people think heavyweight bouts are boring, but got to realize these are young men that are, you know, well over 250 pounds, and they don't move quite as quick as a 106-pounder.
They don't, and believe it or not, there's some technique and finesse involved in heavyweight that you won't find at any other weight.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I had some real good heavyweights at Williamsport, state champion Matt Neenan. And
Was the state champ Gary Walk?
yes, the name here of the trivia question, your name? Hello? Hello? Must have lost contact here, but he did say.
Scott Dempsey.
Scott Dempsey. This is Coach
Scott
Best.
Dempsey.
This is Coach Best, Scotty. You wrestled for me, didn't you? Is this the Scott
Hello?
Dempsey? Is this the Scott Dempsey who wrestled for me? You're correct with your answer, Gary
Hi,
Walker.
Coach Best.
Hey, is this the Scotty who wrestled for me?
Yes, sir.
Hey, buddy. I knew you'd get that. Gary Walk, you got 2 cheesesteaks from DeSanto Subs waiting for you. Thanks for listening, buddy. Okay, and again, we want to thank our sponsors, DeSanto Subs being one of them, the Villa, both trivia question recipient awards, Snyder Sweet Corn, Web Weekly, and Blaze Alexander. Still 0-0 here, not doing a whole lot, but you know, you don't see a whole lot of action at heavyweight because of their size. Still great wrestlers.
You got the Montoursville boy in a position to score. Oh, he did. He got the escape, 1-point advantage. Montoursville, 1:16 left in the second period of heavyweight.
And as Ryan mentioned, you know, there's different technique at heavyweight. These heavyweights can't do what a 106, 113 pounder can do, but there's different technique. And I had some real good heavyweights at Williamsport, Matt Neenan being one of them, and he was a state champion for me. Oh, and Montoursville got the takedown, up 3-0, working for a half. And this is Mike Bauerheimer, if I pronounce that correctly. If I didn't, please forgive me.
Those of you that know Coach Best, you might wonder how in the world, when he coached, he'd ever work out with a heavyweight. But Rest assured, I weighed about 170 pounds in high school, and he came down and showed legs, and he had my face as red as a tomato.
Ryan reminds me of that. I don't remember, but I used. Oh, whoa! Danville reverse caught Montoursville on their back. This will be another 11 seconds left. Doesn't have a whole lot of time in this period.
This is the upset.
3 seconds left. That Montoursville boys fighting.
Time's up.
Saved by the buzzer.
The score being 5-3 now. And a mistake by Montoursville, got caught in his back. Yeah, Ryan, I used to work out with those heavyweights, but not very often. Again, this is PASportsLive.com. If you want to watch this, it'll be on the computer. You can watch it anytime. I was talking to some people here, and you know, this is a nice thing because the family might be miles and miles and miles away, states away, and they can still see this match. Montoursville kid is kind of working for a fall. He has to. He's down only 2 points. Got a lot of time, 1 minute and 20 seconds, 17. It's kind of tight waist riding. Danville kid is up on his feet. Got an escape. Now he's up 6-2. The Montoursville heavyweight's going to need more than a takedown now to beat him. Less than a minute to go.
Pressure's on the Montoursville boy now.
Yep, he's got to take some shots. He has to get at least a takedown. You know, a takedown unfortunately won't win it. Being up by 3, you only get 2 points for a takedown. What kind of hand fight? Oh, he tried a little headlock attempt there. That's what he needs. He needs to put this guy on his back. You know, I'm sure the Yonkin brothers do this too. I always used to teach my wrestlers at least 1 or 2 moves, take a kid from his feet to his back because of a situation like this.
He's looking for that big move you were just talking about, Coach.
He's got to put him on his back here. The takedown, 12 seconds left. And he's not even trying. I mean, he's not. He could easily get a takedown there, but he knows he has to put him on his back. And that's what he's trying to hook up a cradle. Did get the takedown, but a little too late, 6-5. Danville guys pointing something here.
Blaze Alexander Family Dealerships.
For over 30 years, we've been doing anything it takes.
To satisfy anyone who walks through the door.
The largest selection and a low price guaranteed.
Blaze Alexander Family.
Now for wiping up blood on the mat. Okay, we want to again thank Snyder's Quality Sweet Corn. Both Snyder brothers wrestled for Montoursville. They were state champs. That whole Snyder family were really good wrestlers, 2 of those. And that was another trivia question we were thinking about. How many brothers won a state title at Montoursville? And of course, the answer would have been the Snyder brothers.
Did someone win? Someone won?
Scott Dempsey won the last trivia question. Who was the first state champ? And Scott, who wrestled for me, guessed it was Gary Walk.
Who do we have for Montoursville here at 106, Coach?
I believe it's going to be Wyatt Lutz, whose dad, Carl Lutz, was a state champion for Montoursville. So
I think he wrestled with Gary Walt.
Yep. He's right in on a takedown. And again, Danville coach said that these kids are very, very young. This young man, this is his first year wrestling. And
we're not even 15 seconds into the bout, and Montoursville's got back points.
Yep. And that was Danville coach's Mike Bloom's concern that his lightweights he didn't think had the experience to deal with Montoursville. Wyatt Lutz, fast pin. He definitely has the genetics. Carl's dad being a state champion, so you see that pretty often. You know, a father who was a great wrestler, their sons sometimes become great wrestlers as well.
Montoursville's back on top in the team score, 22-18, heading into the 113-pound bout here.
This is Isaiah Ginrich from Montoursville. Who's the Danville young man?
You got a senior out of Danville, Liam Brady.
And again, unfortunately, Coach Yonkin didn't give me much information on the team. I don't know what grade Isaiah's in. Apologize for that. Kind of tying up ear to ear. Montoursville young man seems to be taking control. Got a kind of front, trying to get a front headlock situation. Another question, trivia question for another 2 cheesesteaks from DeSanto Subs. Ryan and I have to come up with a good trivia question. You're familiar with Montours wrestling. Ryan, what's a good trivia question that we can get?
I don't know if this is too much of a stretch, but if there's anybody out there have an idea who Montoursville's first 100-win wrestler was.
That's a good one. That's going to be a real wrestling fan, Montoursville wrestling fan. And I assume you know the answer, Ryan.
I do. I have the benefit of the banner to my right.
So the first person who can name Montoursville wrestler that had first 100 wins gets another 2 cheesesteaks from DeSanto Subs, which also sponsored this tonight. And you know, I want to thank Charlie. I know Charlie. He's a good friend of mine too. And I'll tell you what, he makes some great cheesesteaks. Great subs. If you're hungry, stop into Charlie DeSanto's. Again, we want to thank. Shot here by the Danville kid, and he got 2 out of it. You know, that Coach Bloom was concerned about his lightweights, and this young man seems to be doing pretty good. Locked up a cradle.
I think it definitely can be said, Coach, that both teams came to wrestle tonight.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Scored 22-18. I think Danville coaches have to be pleased with their performance so far. Montoursville is a tough team. As you mentioned, I don't think they have too many weak spots, if any.
The second period, Gingrich of Montoursville defers.
Yeah, they're on their feet again.
Brady takes neutral.
Shot right off the whistle, Danville kid. And I know that Jamie and Matt put in endless hours for this, and that's what you have to do as a coach if you want a good team. As I said, it becomes a lifestyle. I don't know if they're married. Do you know if they're married?
They are.
They are? Their wives have to go along with it too. My ex-wife now, but when she was married, when Tommy was growing, we were married when Tommy was growing up, and a poor woman, we spent vacations out at Iowa and Nebraska in a gym watching wrestling. We didn't go to the beach.
She could probably recite all the wrestlers' names
yeah,
as well
exactly.
as you.
Exactly. She'd shout instructions from the stands here and was right. Good battle here. 2-0. The Danville young man are on their feet. I think Danville coaches can be happy with their performance, even though they're behind a little bit. But
deep double leg by the Montoursville boy.
Steps over. You know, this is
that type of wrestling.
This is called funk. Wasn't around when Ryan wrestled, but it's a scramble. It's called funk wrestling, and you see it. You never know who has control until one head pops out. Right now, I would say the Danville young man has the advantage, but you never know with this funk stuff. And there it is. Well, that's real close to, in my opinion, a reversal.
I think if that Montoursville boy can get the leg over.
Yep, now that stopped it. Oh, he did give him 2. He did give him 2. He's trying to cradle.
So the Danville boy got 2. He's on top, working for a far side and cradle.
Trying to cradle, and he got over anxious with it and might be getting himself in trouble here. And he did. Got a reversal, got a little over anxious on the cradle. Going in third period, Danville's up 4-2.
Third period, Gingrich of Montoursville takes down.
Team score 22-18. Again, we want to thank our sponsors. Of course, Charlie DeSanto at DeSanto Subs, Snyder's Sweet Corn.
Your team says hello.
Web Weekly,
Web
Blaze
Weekly,
Alexander, and the Villa.
The Villa. Derek just showed me my elementary team is at Loyal Sock match tonight, and I'm unfortunately, I just couldn't make it over there, and they just sent a text of my team and their coaches. They took a picture and sent it to me.
That Danville boy is trying hard for that
Yes,
far side
he is.
cradle, Coach.
And he is. Trying to take him back against his legs. Oh, now he switched over. Got himself in bad position.
Uh-oh. Got a reversal by the Montoursville.
And back points. And this could be a fall, and it is.
Montoursville gets the fall with 1:12 left in the third.
Now, to Danville's credit, the Danville young man was controlling the match until that happened.
Yes, he was.
But Montoursville has some fight. Okay, we haven't heard any of that trivia question. Might have been too hard for him, Ryan.
See that replay. See the replay.
Okay, you can see this replay. Danville kid has that cradle and steps over and gets himself in bad position, and Montoursville young man took advantage of it.
Coach, I'll throw some hints out there. Maybe we can get some interest going in that trivia question. We were talking about brothers earlier, the Snyders being the earlier of the two. These were one other set of brothers in the early 90s. And one of those brothers was the first to secure the 100 win here at Montoursville.
Okay, this is Morgan Kamanai gets a takedown here and up 2-0. And Coach Bloom mentioned that his lighter weights didn't have a whole lot of experience. Although the last match, that young man from Danville put up a great fight. Lost it right at the end on an over-anxious move.
We have a freshman here for Danville, Evan Welliver.
Again, Coach of Montoursville unfortunately didn't give me much information. I don't know what grade Morgan is in, but he seems to be in control right now.
Looks like the Montoursville boys trying to work an arm bar there.
Yeah, working an arm bar. It has a one-on-one, but he's trying to work that bar. Komanai? I think that's what I said, Mr. Dorr. And he got him over with that arm bar, and he's in pretty good position, and there's 42.
Got lots of time left.
Yep, lots of time.
Settle in. And
don't get over anxious. Now he switched it to a reverse half. And then the ref didn't catch it, but the Danville kid was pulling on the headgear, which would have been a penalty point. Then he got 3 points out of that. Hooked up a cradle, getting more points. 15 seconds. Oh, now
Hello?
he got it.
You're on the phone.
Yes. We'll let Ryan handle this one. This is a call for that trivia question.
Did you get a winner for that question about the first 100 wins?
we did not. What answer do you have?
Second period.
Are you there?
Danville defers.
I don't know if they can hear me, Coach.
Yeah, I don't know. We're getting a bad connection with the phone here, but he hung up. Might have had the answer.
Looks like they hung up. If you're still out there, call in again.
Yeah, we apologize for that.
They're trying to listen to it at the same time they can't.
If you're trying to listen to it and have a phone conversation, you really can't. Okay, scores 8-0, but you know this Danville kid has legs in and is trying to turn the guy. Okay, team score 28-18 Montoursville. Hey, Danville guy.
Looks like we have another caller. I'm not sure if it's the same gentleman that tried before.
Danville young man.
Did you get the winner yet?
Nope, we did not. What's your guess?
Komanai is pinned the kid. The Danville kid was a great try.
You still there?
Comini. Mr. Dorr was wrong in his pronunciation.
If you're still there on the line, if you want to go ahead and throw that guess out there.
Okay, here you see this Montoursville young man securing both arms there, and a good fight. He gets the pin.
Richie Rudder.
You're close. You're very close. You want to give it a second try?
I'm here.
You're close. You're hot. Try again.
Well, that wasn't the answer, but it was real close. I'd maybe give someone else a hint out there. This is Gable Krebs. This is Coach Krebs at Lycoming College. This is his son. I believe he's just 9th or 10th grade,
I think
Ryan?
he's a freshman.
Yep. And Ryan wrestled for Coach Krebs over at Lycoming, so he knows all about the Lycoming program. Ryan was a national qualifier for Lycoming College. Did very well in college as well as high school.
Yep, it was an awesome experience at Lyco, wrestling for Krebs.
No, Lycoming College has only had 2 head wrestling coaches. It was Bud Whitehill for a long, long time. Unfortunately, he died of cancer.
Yes, Rennie Rodarmo.
That is correct. Were you the same gentleman that called in before?
There's Krebs working bars.
I'm here.
Yep, well done. Rennie Rodarmo is the answer.
And there's another fall for Montoursville. Young man Krebs.
26 pounds, winner by first period fall.
I believe he's only a 9th grader.
Rennie Rodarmo.
Yep, well done. Do you know what they win, Coach?
Yep, they win 2 cheesesteaks from DeSanto Subs.
Yep, Rennie Rodarmo's the answer. You won yourself 2
Okay, the
cheesesteaks.
replay here, you see
Thanks for calling in.
Mr. Krebs here taking him over with bars, good position, and he gets the fall.
Coach, looks like we're up to 132 pounds.
Team score 40-18. Montoursville's pulling away here in the lighter weights. This is Charlie Steinbacher. Eric Steinbacher's son works at Allstate with the Rodarmels. Rodarmels put their stamp on Montoursville wrestling, Richie being a state champion, and Rennie was 2nd in states, and they just saw the last trivia winner was Rennie Rodarmel.
You know, you talk about parents that have pass along good genes to their kids. Eric was an excellent athlete. Eric Steinbacher was an excellent athlete from Montoursville. I believe he was all-state in football, played basketball as well.
And this is his son out here wrestling. Took a shot, cross leg shot, maybe going for a high crotch. I don't know what he was attempting there, but got himself in a little awkward position. He's trying to clear it up, clean up his position there. You got to give credit to these Danville. As you said, Ryan, they both came to wrestle. Both these teams came to wrestle. These Danville guys like cradles. This guy's hooking up a cradle. No points yet. Didn't even give him control. Usually when you get a cradle hooked up, there is control, but, I'm not questioning the referee. He's down there closer than I am.
Potentially dangerous situation. The Danville boy's knee was in a precarious position there. It's the right call.
I was speaking to Eric before the match. He's a good friend of mine as well, and very proud of his son. And Ryan and I were talking about it earlier, the wrestling community. Once you wrestle, you know when someone wrestles, you know what they've gone through, and it's kind of a bond.
It is. It's something that, unless you go through it, it's difficult to describe, but it's a community of peers that I'm honored to be a part of, and you have a lot of memories that you can share over the years.
Well, you've earned membership, buddy.
Thanks, Coach. I think it goes without saying that you're at the top of that membership.
Well, there's a nice shot a nice counter by Steinbacher. Gets the 2 right at the buzzer. Nice counter shot. And I was trying to talk later, and we got consumed with action out here, but Dan Gable, the famous wrestler and Iowa coach, won more national champions than anybody so far, although Cale Sanderson's on his trail. once said, once you wrestle, everything else in life comes easy, and that might be true.
A lot of blood, sweat, and tears, as they say.
Yep. Okay, again, we want to thank our sponsors here, Blaze Alexander, Webb Weekly, Jimmy Webb, I personally thank you, and Blaze, I personally thank you as well. Snyder Sweet Corn, I thank the Snyder brothers. They were real good wrestlers here at Montoursville. Both won, 2 Snyder brothers won state titles. And Charlie, he's always been a Warrior fan. Charlie DeSanto is subs here. Please stop down and get something in the Villa. And we appreciate the Villa. We've had as a sponsor for both of these live streamings. And I thank the family down there for helping out. If it weren't for them, we couldn't be doing this. And if you're interested in sponsoring, please get a hold of myself, and we'll get you on here. You know, if your name's on here, it's seen by thousands of people, thousands. This goes worldwide. Okay, Steinbacher is still up 2-0. The Danville young man's doing a great job riding. He's got a bar and a wrist. If you convert that to tournament, he's trying to do a tilt with that, and he kind of lost it, and then Steinbacher gets reversal. I'm sure Eric up there, his heart's pounding, watching his son. I know mine did when my son wrestled for me.
It's funny, Coach. I was just having a conversation with a fellow ex-wrestler the other day, and they said when you wrestle, it's one thing. Your heart pounds before the match. You get nervous, a cotton mouth. But then when you associate yourself with someone that does wrestle a sibling, etc., the nerves are exponentially greater.
Yep. And Steinbacher here is getting some back points. Yeah, I know when I coached, you know, I much preferred competing because I only had to wrestle once. When I coached, I had to wrestle 12 times. But now it's 14 weights. But back when I was coaching, it was 12. And the poor Yonkins are out there wrestled 14 times. And he get another fall. Great job by Charlie Steinbacher.
At 132 pounds, winner by second period fall, Montoursville's Charlie Steinbacher.
And Montoursville showing their strength here, pulling away. And to be honest, the Danville coaches kind of expected that because of their inexperience in their lighter weights.
At 138 pounds for Danville, Eric Cease. For Montoursville, Kyle Bennett.
Danville 138, sending a freshman, Eric Cease, onto the mat.
And this is Kyle Bennett for Montoursville, great little wrestler. I watched him up at the top hat. Montoursville has a real solid team, and with several outstanding wrestlers. Trying to dump there, Mr. Bennett. Almost got it. Again, I apologize for not knowing the grades of these young men from Montoursville, but didn't get a whole lot of information. Kind of caught him in a dump, caught that low leg, and on the verge there, he gets a takedown. Ref's doing a pretty good job tonight. What do you think, Ryan?
I agree. I haven't really had, I don't think it's been absent of any controversial calls.
Absolutely.
Unfortunately, I don't know the gentleman's name. I've been removed from it for a while. And
I don't recognize him now. Bennett locked up a cradle. I tell you, Montoursville kids are always working for a fall.
He's got to be, there it is. I was going to say he's got to be close.
Yep. Good job by Kyle Bennett.
I think we're going into the final match here, Coach.
And this is a good one, too. Keith Batkowski, the great running back. And, you know, Batkowskis have been wrestling here forever. Okay, in this replay, he's locked up that cradle and bottom knee in the side, and that kind of cinches it. And shortly there it is. There's the fall. I mean, here's Keith Batkowski wrestling 145 and was one of the premier running backs, you know, and is not a real big guy, but he's tough. He's got good genetics. His dad, as I mentioned, wrestled. Oh, man.
Looks like he was shot out of a cannon.
Yeah, yep. He looks like one strong young man. His dad wrestled when I coached back there, and I don't know if anybody from Williamsport ever beat his dad. His dad was a great wrestler, too, and he had a son, David, who's now at Penn State. He was a great wrestler here from Montoursville as well. I had the pleasure of working with David a little bit. Great young man.
I think they
he's
just
got
watched
this
him
locked
put on
up.
a clinic of 2 or 3 different pinning combinations.
Yep. Yeah, Keith is going to go far. I'm sure there's a lot of colleges looking at Keith Batkowski. Tough kid, tough football player, and obviously a very tough wrestler.
Well, I think Montoursville showed at least 10, 11, or 12 different reasons for some colleges to be looking at their program right now.
Yep, and so far this has gone out to over 120 colleges have responded that they're watching this. Here you see them, shaking hands. And again, we want to thank our sponsors. Thank you personally, Blaze, Alexander, and Jimmy Webb. Thank you very much. Charlie, DeSanto Subs, Snyder's, we appreciate the sponsorship. Snyder's Sweet Corn and the Villa. The Kraus family, I know, has supported athletics. They went to Williamsport. They're boys and they're great kids.
Well, Coach, I want to thank you for the opportunity to be on air here with you. It was a pleasure. I enjoyed it. Best of luck with this. I think you're going to do well.
Hey, Riz, how you doing, buddy?
We just had a call come in.
Yep, what can we do for you? We're waiting here. I want to thank Ryan, and hopefully you can do it with me Thursday again. I'd love to have Ryan by my side Thursday. I think it will be a more competitive match because Warrior Run is pretty tough, and Montoursville is very tough. So I'm anxious to see
Coach
that
Best.
match. Yes, sir.
How you doing?
I'm doing fine. Who's this? Hello? Yeah, we're having trouble with this. I guess if you're watching it, it's difficult to get the phone connection. But I haven't gotten a commitment yet from Ryan, but I hope he is going to join me Thursday.
I'd love to. Let me check my schedule. And
this is Charlie Bennett. I just wanted to let you know on a wonderful job you guys were doing tonight.
Well, thank you very much, Charlie.
Yep, thank you.
We do this to
I just want to, watching the Huffman boys tonight, what an awesome job them guys were doing.
Well, the whole Montoursville team is well coached. You can tell they're well coached, and they're doing a great job. The Hoffman brothers, that Keith Batkowski, he's a stud. He's a stud. And I know from the past, coaching kids like that is a pleasure. And I know Jamie and Matt probably enjoy going to practice because they got great kids. And I appreciate your call. I appreciate you, and again, my hat's off to PASportsLive.com. We're doing a great thing, I think, for the wrestling community, getting this out there worldwide. Coaches are watching this, and great recruiting tool for our schools here, too. You get college coaches to see the quality wrestling that we have in this area. And Montoursville is one of the top teams. Jersey Shore is a great team,
Absolutely. PA Sports is doing a great job covering the wrestling for us.
Well, I thank you, Charlie. I appreciate that, and we're trying to get great exposure for wrestling. Unfortunately, it doesn't get a lot of exposure. It doesn't get televised too much anymore, but we're doing it. And I'm anxious, looking forward to the Montoursville Warrior Run match. I hope you are too. I think it will be a real good match. Warrior Run's pretty tough, and Montoursville is real tough, so I'm anxious to see that match. And again, thank you, Charlie, for calling in, and we appreciate it.
Absolutely.
We appreciate the
just think,
support.
with all these great sponsors that we have, in our local area that are willing to sponsor, PA Sports Live and bringing this wrestling to us is a good thing.
And hats off to our sponsors again: Blaze Alexander, Web Weekly, Snyder Sweet Corn.
All righty, guys, keep up the great work.
Thank
I
you,
look
Charlie.
forward to watching more matches.
Thank you,
Have
Charlie.
a good night.
Snyder Sweet Corn, both Snyder brothers, all the Snyder brothers wrestled here, and two of them won state titles. And Charlie was an athlete here at Montoursville, a football player, and Charlie always supports Montoursville. Thank you, Charlie, for being a sponsor, and thank you for contributing to some of the trivia questions. And the Villa always, thank you for contributing to the trivia questions. We really, really appreciate it. The Kraus family, and we like to thank the sponsors for making this happen. If it weren't for you, this wouldn't happen. And again, this is PASportsLive.com, live streaming, seen all over the world.
See you
And,
Thursday.
We'll see you Thursday. Hopefully Ryan will be at my side again. Did a great job.
Hi, I'm Kirsten from PASportsLive.com, the only high school live streaming network in PA bringing you high-quality football and basketball games. Do you want to make it to the big game but your schedule won't allow it? Want to check in on your hometown's latest challenge or preview an upcoming opponent? Then you need to sign on to PASportsLive.com. The website is simple to use. Just log in, create a username and password, and you're ready to watch the game. Tied up during game time? Log in the next day to catch the replay.
Blaze Alexander Family Dealerships.
For over 30 years,
we've been doing anything it takes
to satisfy anyone who walks through the door.
At 13 dealerships.
With over 500 employees across central Pennsylvania.
Every brand you want.
The largest selection.
And a low price guarantee.
Visit any area Blaze Alexander Family Dealership, taking the deals the other guys won't, guaranteed. Blaze Alexander Family Dealerships, guaranteed.
Did you hear that? It sounds like great new deals at Cups, your vacuum center. We offer new and used vacuums from all of the best brands, including Kirby, Shark, Dyson, Electrolux, Auric, Hoover, and many more. Got an old vacuum that needs repair? Trust that our service repair technician will get it working like new again. For bags, belts, filters, repairs, and sales, trust Cups Vacuum Center located at 1001 Washington Boulevard in Williamsburg.
Blaze Alexander Family Dealerships.
For over 30 years, we've been doing anything it takes
to satisfy anyone who walks through the door.
The largest selection and a low price guaranteed.
Blaze
Alexander Family Dealerships.
For over 30 years,
we've been doing anything it takes
to satisfy anyone who walks through the door.
At 13 dealerships.
With over 500 employees across central Pennsylvania.
Every brand you want.
The largest selection.
And a low price guarantee.
Visit any area Blaze Alexander Family Dealership, taking the deals the other guys won't, guaranteed. Blaze Alexander